phone lines. Hold your point. Welcome to Honest Opinion. Keeping it real, making it happen. What say you, caller?
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Charles, and to your family. Good morning to those who are non-Muslim. This is Brother Hussein Muhammad of the Dedication, and I'm enjoying the show a long time. Listen, Charles, I just want to ask your panel what they're asking the voters to do in case that this don't work. Do they have a backup plan? That's what I want. That was concerning me, Charles. We have your panel to discuss it. This don't work. What we going to do for backup plan to keep the Africans in the future, Charles? Thank you for letting me share.
All right, then. I think Ella talked about a backup plan, but we'll get back to it and get an answer for you. Welcome to Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen. Okay, go ahead, Terry.
At just one point, I want to back up something that Ella said and the importance of what she said. There is an assumption within the Republican Party that they cannot win the presidency without getting Florida's electoral votes. So this is a big deal.
Well, let Terry say that was that's a straightened attitude, brother. Go ahead.
Right, that's why I said in my monologues that Florida got 29 electoral votes. You can have maybe 15 different states, put them all together, and they want to add up to 29. So some states are definitely being targeted. And for Mr. Scott, his approval rating just in 6 months has went down to 29%. This is the lowest from any government to take effect. So and he's not concerned about that. He seems like he's on a mission, and regardless of popularity, he can care less about that. He don't care about getting reelected. All he care about stop the Obama and stop the Democrat. Because you got Republican, and like in the state of Florida, you got the legislators, you got the Senate, you got the governor, so they can pass and implement any new bills that they want to. And this is so sad because we cannot allow that to happen. So we have a caller?
Yes. Caller, come in. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Go ahead.
I just want to say I really appreciate this discussion. And every time I hear you say, Jarvis, it's a shame before God, it just really cracks me up. But anyway, you know, every time, you know, African people have made significant gains, it's always this pushback. You know, whether it was the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, then we find ourselves, you know, suffering with, you know, blight code, Jim Crow laws, then voter new barriers, poll tax, property tax, literary taxes. I think we have to come, in my opinion, with either on the ground doing the work, like King went into Selman, organized, bringing the shame to the nation of the things that's happening to African people. Because when they say they, we know who they are talking about. The people that it has the most impact on need to be in formation of organizing, of course, demonstrating. So, as Malcolm said, they understand it's a price to pay to doing these things to us. Like Brother Malcolm's slogan was the ballot of the bullet. Wasn't talking about literally using a bullet, but the alternative, and we cannot participate in this process. So we have to not, like our King just said, you can't make these people feel shame. You have to make them feel that it's a consequence to this continual denying of African people the right to exist here in this country. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. We have in the studio with us, we have Ella Coffey, a political consultant. We're talking about voter suppression. Layla Abdul-Aziz, field coordinator for the Emerge USA, and Terry Watson, the former chair of the O-Train, the volunteer organization that got President Obama elected. We're going to talk about now, from that same election law, is now when a county commission candidate, want to get on by petition. Think about this now. See how to change the game again. Listen to this. This is important. I want the panel to listen up on this. Class, pay attention. You can not just, you know Ella, how you have to get on by petition and get the signatures from the district that you're trying to run for. Now they're making it where you can just get registered voter from anywhere to get on by petition. You see, did you read it like that?
No, I think that's based on redistricting.
Okay.
During every 10 years during redistricting, because you technically don't know where your district will be drawn, you can get voters to sign your petition anywhere in the state. So for instance, if a candidate is running for District 60, they can maybe, if they're in Miami for the weekend, they can have registered voters down there.
But it's only doing reapportionment.
Correct. During that 10-year reapportionment time. That is correct.
Yeah, but it's still like Hakeem said, if you can't beat them, cheat them. It's still like they cheat them.
Right.
It's still
but at least there's an advantage for us. I mean, the rules are the same right now for Democrats. We can do
yeah, but
the same
that's
thing
always
for
seemed to be the
independents.
problem, Ellen, that when Democrats get hip to the game change, the Republicans be up on the game real quick. We have a call on the line. Welcome down this opinion. Keep it real. We make it light, but this is a serious matter. What say you? Contribute, please.
Good morning, Brother Jarvis and Brother Hakeem, and to your special panel guest, Ms. Coffee. And I'm sorry I didn't catch the other gentleman's name. I just want to notify the people of this. When we had the redistricting meeting down at the Board of County Commissioners chambers just the other week, there was a note that was passed a few rows back to me that says, Ms. Williams, the supervisor of election will not be showing up to the C. Black Andrews Library because they say we're not going to show up in numbers. Not only did we show up in numbers, we showed up and showed out in great numbers. They're already thinking that the blank vote is going to be taken for a joke. Just like Alice Fink did, she ran a sloppy campaign. She took the voters for granted, just thinking because she had a D behind her name. Okay, it does not matter what a candidate has behind their name anymore. It's what you have put forth through the community, through your constituent base, and what your track record is throughout the state, throughout the county, and throughout the city. Now, if blacks want to continue to sit down, they're going to continue to run circles around us until we get up. More community forums need to be held. I'm already doing my part as an activist. There are other activists out in Tampa doing their part. We got to collaborate and come together. And again, we need to show up and show out in the primary election, show up and show out in the early voting. These are the things that we have to do. I think Ms. Coffee, I know her reputation. She's become a good friend of mine. She's my neighbor. We just have to collaborate with her, see where these meetings are going to be held at. Get on the radio station and listen to this show to see where the meetings are going to be held at. This is the type of collaboration that we need in the community.
All right, caller.
I thank each of you for this.
You hit it on the head.
Thank you very kindly, caller. Good call.
She hit it on the head, and she covered all bases. I want to say one last thing. I think that now, we're almost out of time. We have to now dig into, everybody to give me a take on it. I'm going to come back to you last too, Hakeem the Dream. I'll go around the panel on this. Early voting. How can we get our people involved? Not early voting. Vote by mail. That was a challenge we were having. Let me start with you, Ella. We conquered, like we couldn't conquer but one thing at a time. We conquered this last city election, getting our people to come out early vote. We showed out an early vote. You remember?
We did.
But we still now, we weren't able to do two Garmin walk at the same time and get them to vote by mail. We weren't able to. What's the big challenge there? I think that some candidate was just going by with the forms and going by with stamps and. I mean, what's the...
What you're not going to do, Jarvis, is talk about what certain candidates... You're right. Vote by mail and
Ella took that one first. I didn't hit you hard, Ella. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Oh, just for clarification, that was not my candidate. Let's clarify.
Hey, she want to clear that up.
Not my candidate.
I know. Go ahead, Ella.
I can only say what I heard, not what I know. Only what I heard.
The word on the street.
Yeah, exactly. What the problem is with vote by mail, we are not trusting of the system. And then when you have laws like this, you wonder why we're not trusting of the system. Vote by mail is the easiest way really for you to cast your ballot. You have the opportunity to get your ballot at home, read it, read the ballot, exactly, study the ballot, make your choice, and then send it off in the mail. So it is the easiest format. One thing that needs to be clear, the supervisor of elections representative came to the last Democratic meeting and said that if there's not enough postage on the stamp, on the ballot, it will not be sent back to you. So that's a myth that sometimes is perpetuated in the community, and I want to make sure we're aware of that. But based on laws like this is what makes it harder for us to become trusting.
Right. Let's go to the phone line and then we'll go. If anybody else want to add to the panel, go ahead, Layla, add to the panel.
I completely agree with Ella. I mean, there's, first of all, I think people kind of see this romanticism about actually going to the polls and
Yes,
voting. I like going to the polls and voting, but I also do my research before I go to the polls.
That's
you know?
right.
But it's important to educate people, educate them that their voting by mail is the same as voting at the poll, and I sure do hope so. You know,
Same ballot.
That's true. Same ballot. Terry, Republicans have been beating the Democrats because you're a big Democrat, man. Republicans have been beating us in this game by voting by mail. How do we get in the game?
Well, I think we go back to exactly what Ella was talking about. We need to educate people. We need to know ahead of time what the game is, and we need to play the game and play it well. But it takes people participating. We can't lay out of this like we did in 2010.
All right. Terry said, now we're going to play the game. You got to participate. Hakeem the Dream this morning.
Well, definitely, I definitely agree with everyone that's up here, and I see everybody is well queued. But I just want to mention this before we get lost there. Before we got on the air, Terry was saying that in one state, I think it was South Carolina, that they had that Democrat was not allowed. I know Rick Scott, when he signed a new law and he went to a place called the Village, and the Democrats that was there, they was asked to leave. So you see, this is really all out war against good versus evil, right versus wrong, and we have too much at stake because, you know, high unemployment being what it is, and this didn't start with Obama. He inherited this problem. Foreclosure didn't start with Obama. He inherited this problem from the Republican Party. So I'm saying is that they want to hold on to power by any means necessary, but we'll say, no, that's not going to happen, at least not on my watch. So again, to all the listening audience, please make a second effort, dedicate yourself to encourage others to go out and go vote early, and let them know that the scheme and the plans that they have is not going to work. Not in Tampa Bay for sure.
All right, Terry. I don't know how you're gonna follow that up, Terry, but try to make clear what happened in South Carolina. That's what I want you to talk about.
Nikki Haley is the governor in South Carolina. She is a right-wing Republican. What she did is they had a barbecue at the governor's mansion to celebrate the end of the session. In the governor's mansion, taxpayer pay.